Alright, so just wanted to showcase my character a little bit. I finally made it to maps. It's been probably 15 hours in order to get there. Um, he is an assassin. He is built basically based on doing poison, and a lot of his stuff has to do with the fact that he's wearing a shield, gaining life, dealing poison damage over time. Poison also counts as chaos damage. And so what we do is we just double up on that. He's also an evasion-based build. That makes it to where he just doesn't get hit much, and he has a shorter chance of taking savage hits, which is usually what just kills you. I don't really have a whole lot of money right now. One chaos is broke, just broke. Um, but we've got a few different things that we're working on. Um, and I've got a little bit of a shop going. A few things in here worth an exalt. It's pretty pretty heavy currency. Anyway, I got it. This is the first time I've done this, but I've got a switch set up. So whenever I switch to these two daggers, actually hold on, I'm just gonna go in the map. Uh, when I'm using the movement skill on this guy, he just uses a dash. That's the name of it. Whenever I switch over to my two daggers, I use Whirling Blade. The nice thing about Whirling Blade is I can just do this. And then all of a sudden I'm moving around the map super fast. But if I switch to the other one, this is as fast as it goes. Anyway, so Herald of Agony is this buff that makes it to where I deal more poison damage over time. Whenever I deal damage with poison, it stacks up. I get this familiar that's a scorpion that also basically shoots these two. Then on top of that, I got Plague Bearer, which incubates. What it does is it stores up how much damage I am dealing currently, and then all of a sudden I'm able to hit it again, and it'll cause an aura around me that will deal damage to enemies over time. Still don't have everything set up just yet. Like, that was bleed that was going on for me. In that little fight, I already hit my max when it comes to my Plague Bearer. So I also got my Val Grace up. This makes it to where my dodge chances are insane, along with a few other things. So Blood Rage will increase damage speed and all this other stuff. Val Grace will make it to where I just don't get hit as much, and then Withering Step makes it to where I am granted phasing, and that's nice because it makes it to where instead of running into a group of enemies and being stuck there like this, I'm running up against them. This is my favorite thing to do. This is when you use Valgrace and whatnot. You just run around, everything dies. It's really fun. But also, I get this thing called Elusive, and that makes it to where my attack speed increases like just a ridiculous amount, and so does my movement speed, as you saw. This is an Abyss encounter. I think I died to it, though. I think I don't get it. Oh. Yeah, they don't want to give it to me. I did not mean to grab that. But yeah, just wanted to showcase this character a little bit. I've actually enjoyed playing it quite a bit. It goes around, can move through stuff super fast. All of this stuff chains. I'm throwing daggers and just killing things. And just like that, shit's killed. and things are done. But yeah. Um, Also, this is my hideout. Um, I definitely love this map device and these portals. They're really nice. We decided to put some money into this. Sierra's playing a necromancer right now, and she just runs around and summons shit, kills shit. Just so much fun. Yep, this is the house. We put the crafting bench in here. I decided that this little area over here is just going to be like a little chaos corrupted kind of thing. Uh, just felt like making it that way. And then over here I have the camp with all the masters in it. And all these masters do a whole bunch of different things. Beastmaster makes it to where he drops like uniques and all this other shit. Delve is a really great way to make currency. This guy is extremely powerful. He has the chance to double corruption, which makes it to where you um, either lose your item, do a shit ton of nice things to it, or it actually doubles the entire stats on the item, which makes it to where it's worth stupid amounts of money. Jund Veiled Master makes it to where you can unlock some crafting things that are really very powerful. There's a combinations of crafting things that you just don't have access to otherwise. And then Xana, she's the one that's in charge of maps and stuff. Sister Cassia is the one that we're doing with right now. The anoint item system, you can use a ring in here, put in some oils, and you'll see up here it says the implicit up at the top. There'll be an added implicit, and it makes it to where you can get certain things like rings are mainly based off of her minigame, and the ring is nice, but the amulets are where it's really at, because if you put an amulet in here, you have three, and then if you noticed, whenever I was on the passive tree, I go over here, those three forward slash things that are right next to it, it's elemental focus, and then it has like a brown, an orange, and a blue. Um, what this allows me to do, and this is the new thing about it, this allows me to like go ahead and go over here, get purity of flesh or something like that. Um, increase max life, chaos resistance, strength. I was thinking about getting dark arts, honestly, but I don't know. The nice thing about it is I can just have my character over here, just work on building all the passives over here. And then what will happen is I will have on my amulet one of these keystones, which makes it to where the potential for my character is ridiculous. You can just do so many different builds with that. But yeah, this is only level 74. Not necessarily broken status just yet, but we spent some money. Um, I just wanted a t-shirt, honestly, and this hideout was super sexy, so I decided that I was going to get it. But we have pit fighter weapon effect, user weapon effect, so I can just. Okay, that's weird that it decided to do it that way. I'm just gonna put this back on. I still don't know how everything works. This is my first time with the microtransactions. But there's just so much that you have available to you when it comes to this. You got prophecies. You just talk to her. You just talk to her, and then she gives you one of these. You go do certain things like you will destroy the false idols, Kuduku and Kadaka. And if you go do that, something is going to happen, something's going to drop, it's going to be nice, usually. And sometimes they're not that great. And then you got the Unbearable Whispers. This is where I go in and discover a tome in one of these 5 maps. And when I do, it'll take care of the first act of these acts. What we eventually want to get done is all of these guys that have the wands behind them. They go up to 4, What it does is it unlocks the Pale Quartz, which makes it to where we have bosses. So Prophecies has bosses. Delve also has bosses.
See you.
We go into the mining encampment, and what we do is we can just come in here and decide to. I mean, we talked to this guy. This is Nico. And this is the generator for it. We have flares that we can drop in dynamite, which is really important because whenever we're going through these different things, and yeah, this looks scary, like there's just so much to it, but really what you're trying to do is find paths like this, because this is just a ridiculously long path. Um, but you want to do that at lower depths. 21 is not a great depth to go down to, and this is going to count as 21 all the way down to this 26. So right now I could go to this, but obviously I'm pretty broke when it comes to the sulfite. And so let's see if I can remember where my map is. What the hell? Fuck it. No. I cannot. Oh, there. Atlas screen. Currently, like I said, I just got to maps, so I'm only in the 4 corners of the map so far. And if you go to the middle and you defeat these 4 guys, we get to the Shaper. While we're doing things for Shaper, Shaper and Elder are at war on the Atlas, and so we've got Shaper influenced maps, Elder influenced maps. You just try to make it to where all of their influence gets closer and closer to this. The stronger and closer they are to these things, the better your drops are going to be. And then due to these new master systems, we're able to just go ahead and decide to do these things. I still haven't figured out how exactly that works, but there's not a whole lot that's time consuming. Like if I'm going to do delve, like I'll just go ahead and do that. I don't have that for that. Where was that? I'm gonna go ahead and do this delve just to showcase it. Some delves are short, some delves are not that short. I usually play with the map in front of me so that I can see it. And it likes to keep up with you. These are cold-based characters, and yeah, my computer's having a hard time keeping up with this shit. But you can run with a bunch of different enemies, and the sad thing about, well, no, not sad, but the interesting thing about Delve is you're trying to follow the cart until it goes to the end, and then once you do, you go ahead and do this little bit of an event. It's kind of randomized how it works. And what happens is, whenever you finish the event, you have a whole bunch of drops that'll happen like this. So that's pretty nice, but what we really want to go for, and you see these lights that are following around, if I step outside of it, I get this darkness, and then look how my life is just going away. So they have a huge risk-reward system that's built on this, and this doesn't really show it too well, but like this could continue on, and then there'd be a fractured wall that'd be right there. So what you would do is you throw down your dynamite, and then you throw down your flare. The dynamite explodes, and behind it is going to be possibly fossils. Fossils are nice because what they do is they make it to where your crafting abilities are increased. What people usually do when it comes to crafting with Delve is they don't actually use the fossils that say, oh hey, I want more chaos shit. all that type of stuff. They actually use it for the nullifying effect. So, like for example, if I'm tired of rolling um, elemental resistance on a weapon, like that doesn't need to be there because I just don't need it. So like mana regeneration rate, I don't really need that on this scythe, this scythe. Uh, this is currently my end game weapon that I'm going to be working on. This is a an item level 84 weapon, but the required level is going to be lower. What that allows me to do is roll things that I can't get access to otherwise because of its item level. Item level 83 is the highest on these weapons for them to have access to those things. Item level 100 is the highest, but there's really no reason to do that. I'm guessing that the whole point of having an item level 100 is that it's going to be a higher chance to roll certain things. As you can see, I have those oils that I was talking about earlier for the anointing system of the amulet. But yeah, you just have maps. You run maps, and then you got like divination cards. These are really fun. I already got this one, so I can just take this out, and I'll get the reward that's in the middle, the cartographer's chisels and stuff like that. Um, and then fragments, I can go ahead and try to take out. Yeah, I'm not going to do that though. They have huge chaos resistance in my character's chaos build. Uh, Essence, you can craft normal items to rare with one guaranteed property, but they have to have a certain level or below. So what we want to try to do is get these higher rows of things, and then for this, it's a corrupts the essence, trapping a monster, modifying them unpredictably. So I'm not really sure how that works, but well, you know, there's a lot of stuff you can just explore and just figure out what you're going to do. This is my gym shop. What I try to keep in here is vol items. They only drop, you can't buy them. And then I try to find items, these gems with quality on them. If you can see, this has a 12% quality. If we get a total of 20, and we go sell it to somebody. Okay, Nico, shut up. Never mind, I don't think that's how that works anymore. Anyway, if you get enough of the quality for it, you can get these currency items, the Gem Cutter's Prism. This improves the quality of a gem, makes it to where it can have 20%. And luckily, I've already got a 6th link. This makes it to where my Cobra Lash has deadly ailments, meaning that my ailments, the poison, has increased damage, but they have a less chance to hit. Chaos damage added too, and then more damage with hits for each poison on the enemy. And then this triggers elusive. Like I said earlier, there's just a lot of stuff that elusive does that's really well done, and I really enjoy that ability. The greater multiple projectile support is the reason I can just shoot 5 daggers at the same time. If I'm, hold on, let me switch over. If I use this one, the slower projectile support, it deals, it has less speed, but it deals more damage, which makes it really strong for like bossing, for example. The solo target, yeah, I only shoot 1, and it's slower, but what it allows me to do is deal a lot of damage, a lot more damage than using this greater projectile, because this one decreases damage, this one increases damage, so I'm getting over 50% more damage to my projectiles by switching the two, which is good. I don't really have this build completely done. I need to get fossils from Delve in order to craft the things that I need. I like to go to my hideout and grab a map, go onto the map, do all the stuff in the map, and I've already done everything in this map that I need to, so I don't need to do this anymore. I'm going to go ahead and just grab another one. As you can see, there's this white bar under these. That means that I've completed it on the atlas, and I can get the bonus from it. I'm just going to go to the map device, put this in, jump in. And we're going into arcade. A lot of these maps get moved. Like this used to be a tier 10 map, now it's tier 1. So something nice dropped. An Orb of Alchemy is kind of like your $50. Chaos Orb is your $1 bill, and then Exalted is a whole lot more than that. Normally it used to be just like 30-40 Chaos to an Exalted. Now an Exalted is somewhere in the ballpark of 200 Chaos. It's these currency items are also crafting items, and so the more they're actually used, the more they disappear. And Exalted is one of the items that doesn't really stick around for the entirety of the league, because people are doing super crafting to their items. And I'm not really sure why you would ever use it. I've never had enough of an Exalted to really put that behind me as an idea. I've never even killed Shaper, to be honest, so yeah. So this is gonna look like shit. I don't know, sometimes they've added some things that are just ridiculous on your computer. It makes it really difficult to just sit there and record and have a good time. Only streamers and people that have like those really good running computers are able to do things like that. Like you saw that whole thing just spawned monsters all over the map. There's so many different ways you can play this. This is based off of Mathil 1. He decided to make this build. I decided that instead of just doing dual wielding only and going based off of his build entirely, I did a few changes to it, and I think I'm pretty happy with it. He didn't really focus on evasion as much as damage. So I'm a little slower when it comes to killing enemies, but I'm not gonna die nearly as much as him. But he's so good at this game, which I'm not. I still get hit, and I still die to shit all the time, so. Okay, here's casting. The real thing I wanted to kind of showcase with this league. Alright, so you start her encounter. She tells you what their resistances are. So minions and stuns are what these things are resistant to. So I'm just going to go ahead with a chilling tower. And this makes it to where there's not going to be a whole lot of issues on that side. And I'm just going to do an electric one on this side. So I'm going to pull up the map because it shows me the red. And I don't want the red to get over to this bulb. And I'm already set up for this, so I'm just going to go ahead and run in here, kill everything that I can. These guys are moving quick. I don't want them to hit this pump, like I said. But they're killing me. Yeah, they're gonna get this. They might. Yep, they got the pump. So it's a little difficult. If you're able to do it, where the portal was, it'll spawn a chest. It's random as to, I think, legions last league is what started this whole faction thing of what's going on with them. Um, with those chests. But there's not a whole... it's super complex how everything works and how much is in the game. Because there's a whole lot of like I can go to the crafting bench and I can sit there and I can just go to town with having uh, the normal things that you find. You go around, you find crafting recipes, and when you unlock it on one character, you unlock it on all your characters, especially during that league. And whenever, so like for example, Sarah is playing her Necromancer. All the progress that I make on this character also influences the progress that she makes on her character, which is really nice. So that's why you'll find most of the time that people will be talking about league starters. And league starters are what you're going to use to get to the end of the map. And this was definitely a league starter. Oh, here we go. We got another map. So we're not going to have to buy that cage map in order to... we're not going to have to try to find one from a person that is willing to get rid of that cage map. It is also pretty late in the league, and I haven't been playing this a whole lot. I didn't pay attention to the fact that my my graphics card, my NVIDIA card, was not being used. The processor, the Intel built-in dedicated video card was what was being used, and that is shit. So that's why I was like, okay, I gotta get a new computer. I was almost gonna buy Borderlands because I thought I couldn't play this. And as you can see, I can play it now that I'm no longer a dumbass about it. But you kill the boss. You try to kill everything in there, and then you get done. You come over here, you just use the Scrolls of Wisdom on rares, and you see what rolls on it, what their affixes are. They have prefixes, suffixes, and a whole bunch of different things that make them strong, worth something, or worthless. And then like you definitely have, there's just a lot of different things that you could be doing. Finding, selling, all that type of stuff. I don't really like this weapon too much. It looks like it's pretty good. It's not. You see those tiers over there. Tier 7, 6, 5, 1. One's good, but it's on a reduced enemy stun threshold, which we don't use. And it just so much that you need to know, need to understand about the game in order to really enjoy the experience of playing the game. And it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And you're gonna, if you do jump in, I highly recommend looking up videos from, I mean, I've spent like 10 hours just researching shit in order to even understand the game. Like, don't look up life regeneration. I still don't get it. I watched like 6 videos on it. I still don't get it. It's like rocket science, just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with that. But whenever it comes down to it, you've got a few different things that that help you keep alive. Evasion keeps you from being hit. Armor keeps you from taking too much damage. Energy shield, it just gives you an extra thing of life. You just have a whole different, a whole group of things that are available to you when it comes to creating your character. The passive tree is entirely about your passives. It has nothing to do with your skills. It will increase things that your skills can do, but you don't get to just like click over here on lucidity and that be your attack. That comes in with your skill gems. So Cobra Lash is the skill gem that I have. I can pull this out, look at it, see what it does. I can also press Alt on it to see more information about certain things on it, and it's just really fun because you can just put, like this ring, it has a spot where I can put a skill gem. That's nice because this, I don't really need to buff it. This Vol Grace, and using Vol Grace makes it to where I can also just use Grace, and that's really really nice to use. But yeah, I just figured I'd give you what, a half hour rundown on this. Jesus. All right. But this is the game. There's a whole lot to it.
Let
You
me tell
you
your
trade
future.
divination cards. You have fragments, essence, prophecies, incubations, gems. You can set up shops, sell things, all that type of stuff. You have to have a premium stash in order to do this. A lot of this stuff I had to pay for in order to get. And I've spent probably $160 on the game. Sierra let me drop $120 on this last expansion, which is why I've got this fancy dagger, this nice ass hideout, this map device that looks awesome, and this like almost Lord of the Rings-esque portal that I'm able to just jump through. So it's getting to where, yeah, I've spent money on it, but I'm actually just enjoying more of the things that this allows me to do. Like I like that little red trail, crafting bench, just a lot of different things that you can do. It's overwhelming with what it looks like it's going to happen, uh, like what you're able to do, but when you start to play more and you've gone through a couple characters, I've gone through a Molten Strike Juggernaut before the giant ass nerf that happened to them. And then I went ahead and created my own character for Purifying Flame during a the Syndicate uh, season, and then um, I did not spend time doing much with Legion just because that monolith earlier that I hit, every time I'd hit it, my screen would freeze, and then I'd pop enemies, and then I'd just die. So I just don't, if it's something like that that's just gonna break my game, I'm not gonna stick around. I'm not gonna bother getting frustrated and stuff like that because when you die on a map, you lose a portal. When you enter a map, you lose a portal. So I mean, you enter a map, you lose a portal. When you die, you get kicked back out here. When you so you really only have 6 shots at your map. And whenever you're playing with other people, whenever they join you on your map, the only way that they can join you is they can go to the place where the map device is and jump in as well. So if we have a team of 4 people, 4 of these is going to be gone. Um, and what it really comes down to is that we don't have a whole lot of strength on our own in order to get to the center of the map. It's a whole lot faster and a whole lot better whenever it comes to getting your currency up and becoming more rich with the game and getting closer and closer and closer to this middle area and unlocking more and more of this map if you have more people that you're playing with. People play aura bots, they play magic find item characters, they have people that are like necromancers, for example, or like just entirely map clearing based characters that have absolutely no single target when it comes to the boss. So they clear the map quickly, and then the magic find person and the boss killer just go straight for the boss. And the aura person just runs around and does whatever. A lot of things drop, a lot of shit drops, and that's why I use this never sync filter. This makes it to where I can filter out useless shit, and it's based off of what this company, I'm not really sure if it's a company as much as just like one guy, decided that these drops are good, these drops are bad, and you're not spending time staring at a ridiculous amount of drops trying to find that one item that you want to have. Anyway, that is a ridiculously long video, and I'm probably gonna hate myself rewatching it, making sure that it worked out fine. Um, but that's a full rundown on this character, how things have progressed so far, what's in this game. I wasn't able to really get
Greetings.
into Alva because her temple, I can only run into that whenever I find her incursions during the map. June has this whole investigation system. I still, after 4 seasons, don't understand what the hell this is. This help? Don't know. Just, I don't know. You can unlock certain things. It's bullshit. I just don't know how it works. But people that do know, and they use it pretty well, and it works really well for them. You can come in here in the menagerie, talk to him, see if you want to do certain things, like go to the blood altar. Like, for example, let's say I just decided I'm going to create a unique. I want a wand. I'm going to go in here, click on this, kill these 4 bosses, beasts that are attached to this guy. They have that mark over their head. They always have something ridiculous that they're doing. That was a whole bunch of poison spiders that was following around this guy. I don't know if this wand's even worth anything, but it's probably not, considering how late in the league it is. That's why, like, early on in the league, you want to rush for things like, I just found out today, oh, okay, I'm not getting all these that I thought I was going to be getting from the beginning of the league. So all those people that made it to maps in the first 3 days have a shit ton more of this than I do, and I just got here and it's like 3-4 weeks into the maps. So that sucks. But yeah, this video has gone on way too long, and I've mentioned it 3 times, so I'm going to go ahead and end that. But if you have any more things that you would like to see, you're interested in like a specific type of character, you'd like to play a specific type of style when it comes to just clearing maps, going through, destroying shit, all that type of stuff. Like, it looks like it's super easy because I'm running around killing all this shit really quickly, but you can get one shot easily, and there's things that are on the map. It's actually got challenge to it. This is not an easy game. And it's a rewarding game when it comes down to the different things that you can do. I've got a guild that I'm in, so I'm able to just sit here and talk to these people while they do whatever the hell they're doing. Most of these guys are just sitting at the end game, and they're just collecting a shit ton of money. And I'm over here like, I just got to maps. Alright, well, I'm going to end the video here. I hope that you at least stuck around for like the first 10 minutes or whatever.